everyone, welcome back. My name is Shrutika Mane and I'm so excited to be bringing you yet another YouTube video. This channel is mainly all things lifestyle, mindset, wellness, self-growth, personal development and confidence building. So if that sounds like something you're after, then this is the place for you. But before that, a bit about myself. I'm Shrutika. I am a full-time business analyst and a part-time content creator. I have an Instagram page where I post all things lifestyle, fashion, beauty, my makeup, skincare, and I'm a dancer, primarily in Kathak and Bollywood. So if that's the type of content you're after, go check out my Instagram page. And my first few videos on YouTube have also been introducing myself, the power of living alone, and I also posted one on 5 productivity hacks. If you're looking for that type of content, it's already on my YouTube channel, so go check it out. But today's video is going to be another highly requested question, which is on how to build confidence and how to stay self-assured, how to really just block out the noise and make sure that you're focused and you're not letting the noise get to you. But mainly for people who are introverted, there are some really useful tips that I can share today that are going to help you build your confidence, whether it be in the work area, in the personal area, if you're trying to start out with content creation, if you're trying to look for a new job, or if you're simply just trying to walk out the door feeling super confident and feeling good about yourself, then stay for this video. There are some really good strategies that I'm going to share with you today. So I hope you enjoy this one, and if you do, of course, comment and tell me what you like about it and tell me what you want from me as well. But today I want to share 15 tips, okay? I know it might be a lot, but when I started thinking about this topic, I was like, what are some things that I can tell you about confidence building that will really help? And I started writing one after the other. And there are so many good strategies that I have implemented over the years to feel this level of confidence that I feel now. And it's in the workspace, it's when I'm going out socially, it's when I'm entering a room full of strangers, it's the comfort that I've now started feeling to sit in a cafe, in a restaurant all by myself. The comfort that I feel to just sit there alone is insane. Even the comfort of living alone and then stepping out socially to meet new people I think has transformed my life. But there was a time in my life where my confidence had dipped a lot. Growing up, bachpan se, I had always been told that I'm quite confident. And people always used to say that how are you so confident? Where do you get your confidence from? And then my dad and my mom, my mom and dad are both very extroverted people. We were the kind of family who would always have people over. We were the kind of people who would always, want to bring the group together and socialize a lot. And we were quite extroverted. Both my parents growing up were very outgoing people. They were public speakers. My mom is a singer as well. They're both doctors. So they're very confident socially, I'd say. And I think that's where I've gotten it. I don't know if it's genetic or if it's circumstantially learned, but I think I've gotten this from my parents, that is for sure. But there was a time in my life in around like the 11th and 12th grade where I put on a lot of weight. And suddenly, and I was also in a new country because I had just moved from India to Australia in the 10th grade. And the next few years, like from the 10th to the 12th, were like a shocker for me because I was like in a completely new country, completely new accent, completely new lifestyle, away from my friends and my, comfort zone of being in India, in Mumbai. I went to school there for so many years, and to then start from scratch socially and all of that was very daunting. And suddenly I was a Kathak dancer. I stopped Kathak, I stopped dancing, and 12th ka pressure tha, so everyone was like, just padhai karo, just study. And there was a lot of pressure attached socially and academically for me. And I put on 15 kilos, okay? So I was not what I look like right now on camera or what you must have seen on Instagram if you're a returning viewer. I was nothing like what I look like right now. And I refused to see myself in the mirror, or even if I did, I would feel like it's normal, like nothing has changed. I was in denial of the weight gain as well. And something about me just dipped. I was very quiet. I was just, going to school, coming back, and that's it. That's when I was like, I really need to learn how to build confidence, because since my childhood, everyone was like, she's so confident, isko kya problem hone wali hai? Like, she's going to be fine out in the world. And everyone had so much faith in me. And suddenly I feel like I was letting people down because I had lost faith in myself. So, here are 15 things that helped me during that time to recover from that. And if you're in a similar phase of life where you're feeling low and you really need to pick yourself up, you really want to find that confidence and the strength to face society or to face the pressures of life, then I really, really hope this helps you. So please let me know in the comment section if it does. So, 15 things. Number 1 is to set yourself really small and achievable goals and targets. Do not set yourself something so big that it feels unattainable, and this is something that I have touched on previously as well. Set yourself small goals. So, for example, I am trying to land brand deals through my content creation. But obviously, achanak se to Mecca is not going to sign me, or some big brand is not going to sign me. So, what do I need to do? I need to take small steps. So, then I set myself a really small step like writing up an email template to send to a brand. That's it. That's all I need to do is write one email in my template, in my notes. What would that email look like? Small goal. The minute I've done that, I'm like, okay, I've taken step 0.1. It may not even be step 1. I've taken 0.1. Tomorrow, I will take step 0.2. It is better to take these smaller steps towards your bigger goal rather than think that someday that bigger goal is automatically going to be achieved, because it may not be. Okay, so first step is to set small achievable goals. Number 2 is to develop a growth mindset. Now I know a lot of people say this, but what does it really mean? It means asking yourself this very question. Okay, don't even overcomplicate it. It's just asking yourself, are you too comfortable where you are right now? Do you feel challenged in life? Do you feel like what is going on around you is your day-to-day? You can easily handle this and this is great. It's good to be comfortable, but if you're too comfortable, it's a sign that you're not growing. And trust me, nobody is going to come and nudge you and be like, hey, are you too comfortable? Do you need to be uncomfortable? Nobody asks you this question. So you need to ask yourself, am I too comfortable? What do I need to do to switch this up and challenge myself and grow in life? Because trust me, growth only comes when you're uncomfortable. And growing up, because of how much I moved, by default I was very uncomfortable, not by choice at all, just by circumstance of growing up and having to move around with my family. But because of those situations, I grew. And so today my body automatically knows that I'm too comfortable. Shrutika needs to try something else to grow. Like, with the content, this content is becoming too comfortable, too monotonous. Something new needs to happen. Brand deals might need to happen. I might need to reach out to people. Make your life more exciting for yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. Develop a growth mindset. Number 3, practice self-compassion. We are going to make mistakes. It is never going to be perfect. Either that or most humans have the tendency to have this negative self-talk. Okay, now say for example a brand deal didn't work out for me. Sorry, brand deals are on my mind at the moment, so that's all I can think about. Say a brand deal didn't work out for me. My instant thought is, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I am the problem. I'm not pretty. I'm not beautiful. I'm not good for the camera. My content is probably not good enough. The instant finger is on me, as if I am the problem. So cut out the self-negative talk, because no one else is saying that to you. It could be that the brand is at capacity at the moment and they genuinely don't have capacity to take on a new influencer, and that's fine. But the tendency to point the finger at yourself is what is going to bring you down. Practice self-compassion. Be your own friend. Imagine if a friend was saying, listen, I'm not good enough, I'm not beautiful, I look really ugly, and doing all of this to themselves, what would you say to him or her? You would say, hey, listen, don't say that about yourself, okay? You're amazing. You need to say that to yourself. Look into the mirror. You are your own friend. Say it to yourself. Number 4, building competence. I think this is something that very few people actually do, is actually spending time on the skills that are required to be good in the area that is important to you. I'm very passionate about content creation. I'm very passionate about dance. These are 2 things in my life that I absolutely love doing, apart from my 9 to 5. So what do I need to do? I need to be practicing my Kathak. रियाज करना पड़ता है content creation के लिए. Actually camera setup करना सीखना पड़ेगा. How do you use the editing tools? How do you reach out to other brands? How do you present yourself? These are things I need to learn, and then only can I grow. Spend time on learning a skill or improving your knowledge. Take a course, read a book, listen to a podcast, speak to people, network, connect, push yourself, and build competence in the area that you really want to pursue. Very little people do this, but it's the key to success. Number 5, taking care of yourself and your physical health. I know a lot of people say it's not about how you look, but it's not about what people think, it's about how you feel about your body. And genuinely, going to the gym for me is not about my muscles or looking toned or I don't want to become a model. I just want to go to the gym so that I feel good about myself. And it instantly boosts my mental health, and I instantly feel more confident putting on a dress and walking out the door. Because I've been going to the gym, I don't even care if there are still flaps and curves, it's fine. It's completely okay to have curves and to not be in the perfect ideal body. But going to the gym and knowing that you are taking care of yourself and you're doing the best that you can gives you this newfound confidence to walk out the door. Which brings me to my 6th point, which is dressing for success. I can't emphasize how important it is to be dressed for success, to wear the clothes that you feel good in, to present yourself really well. I know a lot of people say this outward appearance does not matter, but trust me, it really makes a huge difference. We're not trying to impress the other people, but it's about how confident you feel walking out in a nice new blazer, walking out in nice new clothes. It doesn't have to be new, but just crisp clothes. Presenting yourself makes a huge difference to how confident you feel, and your body language instantly changes, and you will notice this. So dress for success, get ready first thing in the morning. This is also something I have covered in my 2nd YouTube video, which I'm going to link below. But getting ready first thing in the morning and looking good for yourself, dressing up for success, making sure that you're ready for the day has a huge impact on your confidence and also how much you get done in terms of your productivity levels. Number 7 is practicing positive self-talk, which is again on the lines of the growth mindset, but this one is actually speaking to yourself, which I know feels extremely weird, but I do this all the time, especially because I live alone. I have the freedom to do this. But if you ever get time alone to be in your room, to be in the bathroom, to just blabber your heart out to yourself, I do this a lot. I literally talk to myself. I'm like, these are my goals. Like, what am I doing? Where am I feeling? How am I doing? I talk to myself and I make plans talking to myself, and I just put music in and I walk up and down and I'm talking to myself as if somebody's listening. Because trust me, talking to other people, yes, if you have a very close friend, may help if you're stuck somewhere and you need some guidance. But talking to yourself, you're your own sounding board, and there is nothing better than that. Practice positive self-talk. Tell yourself you're the best. Again, I'm not going to say this for the 3rd or 4th time or 100th time, but Kareena Kapoor wala confidence, that kind of confidence that you are the shit, like you are the absolute shit of everything, you are the queen. That kind of positive self-talk is going to change the way you walk out into the world, trust me. Number 8, face your fears. If there is something you're scared about, literally do that first. Because trust me, when I started as a business analyst, I had no clue. I come from a health background. I had no clue how to put up a dashboard in Power BI. No clue whatsoever. And I was so scared, I wanted to quit in my first week on the job. I just wanted to quit. I was like, I have no clue how to make this dashboard. I'm not going to be able to deliver it to the client. Like, that's fine. I'm just going to quit. I'll do something else. I was so scared that I was like, okay, I actually need to learn. So I Googled and I watched YouTube videos, and overnight I was trying, and by the morning I was like, yeah, okay, this is doable. I think I can do it. The minute you're feeling scared, do not, I know it's really hard, but don't run away from it. Face it. Because that means you're going to grow. It's a good sign. If you're scared of something, I was really scared of reaching out to brands. And ask yourself why you're scared. Because I was scared, I thought they would say no. And that's why I was never doing it. But the minute I was like, theek hai, what's the worst? They're gonna say no. So, nothing changes. Nothing changes between me now and me then asking and then saying no. Nothing changes for me. Face it head on. Ask yourself why you're really scared. And if the outcome of that doesn't change anything for you, which it most likely will not, just do it anyway. Anyway, I was gonna quit my job if I couldn't do the dashboard. So, that's fine. I would have probably found something else. I was anyways the worst was gonna be that the client was gonna be unhappy. What's the best that could happen is that I deliver a dashboard in Power BI and the client would be super happy. So face your fears head on. Visualize what success means to you. Success means lots of different things. Growing up, I used to think that success is wearing a suit and a blazer and walking into a glass building and with a briefcase or like a really nice fancy bag and a laptop and sitting in a cabin and doing work. That used to be success to me. Or I wanted to become a Bollywood actress. So then I used to imagine myself being on the screen or going to, being in the theaters. I used to go to the movies and be like, wow, I could be that as well. Whatever it is, obviously not there, but I'm on a different type of screen, which is still good enough. But visualize success for yourself. What does it mean? If I wanted to become content creator and I want to be successful at it, what does that mean? Was it the number of followers? Was it the number of collaborations? Was it the number of views? What is it? That means success to you. And I know I don't want to make this too deep, but success doesn't need to be monetary or numbers or any of that. Success could also be personally. What does success look like to you? To me, success would look like having a family, having my career, and having a good balance between it all. Because I have growing up either seen people be far too ambitious, which has compromised on family life, or have a lot of family but not as much career. And I've often heard women being told that you can't have it all. To me, success would be like having a bit of everything in my life, because I truly believe I can have it, and I'm not going to let anyone tell me that a woman can't have it all. I want a family and I want my career, and I want it all to happen at the same time, and it will all flourish and succeed in my life. And I visualize myself growing up to manager, general manager, managing my own team, managing a department of my company that I'm in. I do visualize myself doing that whilst being married and having kids. So may or may not happen, but I visualize the capability in me to be able to do that. So that's what it would look like to me. What does it look like to you? What does success to your eyes, if you had to close your eyes and think, okay, if I reach this, if this happens for me, this would look successful. I even have a mood board on my Pinterest where I put like pictures of things together, people traveling and people working and people having their own business, having content, all of that happened. Success to me also means content. It also means being on YouTube and Instagram, having a really big audience, a really big family of followers, subscribers, to whom I can provide a lot of value. Success means lots of different things to me, honestly, so I don't even want to get into that, but visualize what that means to you. Number 10, look for help. Seek support. You're not supposed to do all of this on your own. Trust me, I mean it when I say this. I was trying to do all the editing by myself in the world. I thought I can do it all and I'm gonna, edit and I'm gonna do everything end to end, and it doesn't happen. I had to realize that I needed help somewhere, and I needed help with editing, let's say. So I hired an editor. Seek support, seek guidance, look for a mentor somewhere who's gonna guide you, who's gonna help you, and who believes in you. Because trust me, everybody needs help. You're not supposed to be just doing everything on your own. So don't take that burden on yourself, because it may come crashing down one day. Make sure you seek the support, the help that you need in order to flourish. It could be in the form of a mentor, it could be in the form of a certification, it could be absolutely any kind of help and support that you need. It's completely okay to say, hey, I don't know something and I might need help now. It could also be your mental health. I'm not feeling really well. I just feel like I need to take a break, and you need support and you need help and you want to spend some time with your family and take time off. Do that. Do whatever it is that you need to feel better and to return with a lot of energy for whatever it is that you're trying to do. So do not hesitate or shy away from asking for help. I think most of us always feel like it's a sign of weakness if you're asking for help. And if anything, those people that succeed and actually build a strength in a particular area, they've never done it alone. They've always done it with the help and backing of somebody. Could be family, and it could be a friend, it could be a partner, it could be a mentor at work, it could be anybody. But if you see, most successful people have always had a mentor or always had some kind of support and backing. I think as humans, it's extremely important for us to feel comforted and to feel secure. Practice mindfulness and meditation is my number 11. Practice mindfulness and meditation because I feel like The way you speak to yourself and the kind of spiritual connection you have with yourself makes a huge difference to how much you can give. Whatever it is that you have within yourself and how much you can give to yourself is how much you'll be able to give out to the world as well. And I know for a fact that meditation has helped me calm down a lot. I have a lot of anxiety, and my anxiety can get triggered by people, by circumstances, and by pressure. And it was growing so much that it was impacting my personal relationships as well, with friends, with anything in general. It was taking a toll on me, that's for sure. And that's when I was like, I need to pause and I need to change something about my life. And the one thing I did change was I embraced meditation, 10 minutes in the morning just with myself. I listened to Gayatri Mantra, and it has helped me so much because there's something about the pace at which my heart beats which has calmed down. So practicing mindfulness and meditation is not vain. Please try it, and if you want any recommendations on that, ask in the comments and I will definitely link it. Improving your body language. A lot of people walk into a room on their phone, shrinking away. I've seen a lot of people even at work kind of like, just sit in a corner, not make eye contact, all crunched up. People in a social room also, they'll come with their best friend, they'll just stand there like that. That's never gonna make you confident. It's never gonna make you feel ready for the world. Just cornering yourself, not making eye contact. This avoidance nature of yours is gonna be so evident in your body language that you need to fake it. Even if you're not feeling like it, leave your phone, leave your best friend, stand tall, make eye contact and walk into the room head on. And do not feel like people are all looking at you, because I always feel that people are looking. Even if they are, it's fine. Fake it till you make it. Go and say hello, how are you? Ask somebody about their life. If you recognize somebody, go start a conversation. Be a conversation starter. Do not burden yourself by thinking about सामने वाला क्या सोच रहा होगा, because if you do that, then you're never gonna come out of your shell. So improve your body language. Practice at home what that would look like. If you're gonna go to a party on the weekend, I would highly encourage you to think about how you're gonna enter this party this time. And trust me, that will translate into other areas of your life as well. Learn to accept compliments is my next one actually after that. Is you've improved your body language. Cool, you've entered a party, you're having a conversation with someone, and someone has complimented you. They've said something really good about you. And you're like, no, that's not true. That is not true at all. No, you're just being too sweet, this, that. That is how I used to say it as well, But if someone has said a compliment to you, say thank you. And tell them that you appreciate that. And tell them that it means a lot that they've recognized something about you. And take it and own it. There is no need to say, oh, no, not at all. Nazar lagti hai. Bol ke people are like, no. And they shrug away and shy away from compliments. Learn to take one, be proud about it. A lot of people to me have said your content is good and I like what you're doing. And initially I used to say, no, I'm not a content creator. I'm just, essay time pass. And I realized how much I was undermining myself by doing that. I was like, shit, I'm putting so much effort and hard work into this. And the minute someone compliments me, I'm zeroing it all by saying, no, it's just time pass. It's not time pass. I'm working very hard on it, and if someone has complimented it, I will own it and be very proud and say thank you so much. I really hope that you're enjoying it and I hope that you share it with people. I own it and I want to share it with the world. Learn to accept compliments. Oh my god, this one is probably the most important, is preparing and practicing. Confidence in any area. I feel like this bumps all 13, 14, 15, whatever. Preparation and practice is the mother of confidence. If you are feeling like you're lacking confidence in any particular area, like I said, Power BI or content creation or dancing or whatever it is that your hobby is, that means practice is lacking. Knowledge is lacking. Repetition, the art of repetition has science behind it, wherein it teaches your brain the art of confidence without you even having to fake it. Trust me. If you're someone who's not good at faking it, forget about it. Don't even try faking the confidence, but practice it. Whether it be walking into a room, whether it be walking into a conference room with a potential client, whether it could be anything, dancing, anything in life, public speaking, stage fears, anything it may be, practice it and prepare for it, because repetition is the only thing that is actually the science of your brain. It's going to beat everything beyond your control, because then the confidence is automatic. You just trust the process, that confidence will pakka come if you've prepared and you've practiced it. Just for like a job interview as well. A lot of people just rock up to a job interview without actually preparing for it, and I think that's the most rubbish thing ever. I have always prepared for a job interview. I always think about the potential questions they could ask and the potential answers I might give to them. So I prepare a lot for a job interview. I prepare for most things that I'm very nervous about, and that really automatically helps with confidence. Then you don't even have to worry about it. Just trust कि आएगा confidence. And the last one, number 15, is reflect on your achievements. इतना सब कर लिया, right? You've done 14 steps of building confidence and you're working on yourself and you've achieved certain things. Make note of it. I literally have a notes on my phone that says achievements, and I write everything down. It helps me for my resume and CV and all of that as well. But there are also some really tiny achievements. I'm like, have I contacted brands? Have I gone to the gym? Have I gone for a walk? Have I meal prepped? Have I called mom enough? These are all achievements for me. So I write it down and I take it off in my notes, saying that yeah, I've done all of this. Have I done my meditation? Have I spoken to myself? Have I done positive self-talk? Have I spent 30 minutes building a new skill? All of the 15 things that we discussed, right? The 14 things, because this is the 15th. I reflect on it and I think about what may have been missing, what did I do well, what did I not do well, like a performance review, you know, what can I do well next time, what can I add to this list, what needs to go from this list. Honestly, spending time with yourself is the best thing you can do. Reflecting on yourself is the most important thing to growing as well. So, I know this was quite lengthy, but I hope all the 15 tips were of use to you and made sense to you and you could resonate with this. If you did resonate with this, please drop a comment below and tell me how you felt, if there are any suggestions for the next one. In the comment section, tell me if you like this video and if you have any suggestions for the next one. I'm gonna link my previous videos down here, or you can find them on my channel as well. Please also tell me what other kind of content you're interested in. But if you did like this, please like it. Share it with your family, friends, WhatsApp groups, Instagram, wherever it is that you can share. Please go and share it. And please return for the next one. I hope to come back here next week with another video. But in the meantime, like, share and subscribe. And I hope you return for the next video next week. Drop your suggestions in the comment section below. But until then, take care. And I hope you're chasing your dreams. Do not stop chasing them. I'm chasing mine. So I hope you're chasing them with me as well. Bye.